Okay guys, so I'm still doing my health kick and I'm going to try and do an update video like this at least once a week, and there'll be a couple of little ones where you can see me going for a walk. Now the principle what I'm working to is I don't really want to go gun-ho at it and hate it. I want to do it gradually, slowly and properly. Now I appreciate diet is a big factor of it, exercise is a big factor in it, all these different other things. Now I've got to smash back.
It's broken, Mom. Mom, it's broken.
I was at the physio this week. I've got to go get a scan, see if I'm going to get something fused together. So my mobility does have an issue. So what I have to do is slow and steady. Now the whole goal of this is to get to be able to play golf again.
Jackass.
So what am I doing? Have I cut anything out? All of that sort of thing. Yes, I have. The way I'm going to do it is slow and steady to start with. If I start fasting, starving myself, going to the gym, getting private trainers, all of this thing, it's great at the beginning, but it's like anything else in life. You go at it too hard.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Then you just forget about it and any work you've done gets shattered. Now, how do I know this? Well, I actually know it from my job. I'm a market analyst for a living. I trade the financial instruments on the London and New York Stock Exchange. So I'm sat in a chair all the time, but I also talk to new traders every single day. And that's what they do. They try to find everything too quickly. They jump at every indicator that there is. They go from this system to that system to the other system. They oversize their accounts and then blow it to smithereens. Then they get disheartened. Then they quit the industry. Now, the reason that happens is they're doing too much too quickly. So I've taken the principles of what I've seen over the last 20 years in my industry into what I'm going to do for myself. Because the industry I'm in, it's not a good lifestyle. You'll see it all on TikTok, you know, where they're all got Lamborghinis and apparently they're in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, pumping iron, looking good for the camera. You know, look at me, I'm amazing. And then sitting for 15 minutes, make 20,000 quid in the morning and then away again. Absolute bollocks, right? I've done this job a long time, right? A lot of us work from home, and the ones who work in the office, they're in the office at 6 o'clock as institutional traders. They're at a meeting at 6:30 to find out what the news feeds are for the day, what the general market is up to, what their bosses want them to do, and then they start to implode the market in and around 8 o'clock. And I do call it implode because for a retail trader looking at this, merry hell breaks loose at 8 o'clock and it literally goes, it explodes, it implodes, it does all sorts. That's because they're doing it. We haven't got their money, so we can't do it. So you have to sit on the sidelines. But if you know they're going to do it, you know when to stay out of it. Same principle here. Now I'm a bugger for snacks. They're in the house all the time. You know, there's always these things. You know, these are my pet hate. Look, been there a week. I haven't touched it. So that's a big step for me. We've even got flapjacks. You name it, it's in here. All right. So what I've told Joanne to do is replace them. Might get a little treat and I might nibble at it once in a while because we do make mistakes on these journeys. But that's my snack, boiled eggs. So I'm sticking with my coffee.
It's coffee time! Coffee, 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 coffee.
But instead of 2 sugars, I've dropped it down to 1. So it drops the sugar intake. I'm still eating my cornflakes in the morning because, believe it or not, I don't eat a great deal. But I've cut it all down. I'll show you it on a spreadsheet in just a second. And I'm going to weigh myself so that I keep it in check, and then I'm going to do little bits of movement every day. So let me show you some of the things that I do, show you the spreadsheet, and then we'll see how we're getting on. Okay, so come with me. So one of the little things that I'm doing is I've got 2 flights of stairs in this house, and from the outside, the house looks relatively small. It's not, it's quite big. There's a lot of foot space in this house. But what I decided to do was I need to build up some core strength. Now, my back is incredibly smashed, as I was saying. So I try and do a little bit of stretching each morning when I get up, which I have to because I'm as stiff as a board. But I'm also lacking strength. So my idea is very simple. I'm going to stick with my lubrication because we've got to have a coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. But every time I go up the stairs, I'm going to earn my right to walk the stairs. I know it sounds stupid, but it's something I say in my job. You should earn the right to trade. In other words, understand what you're doing. So I do 5 push-ups on the stairs here, then I go up them. And then if I go up the second flight of stairs, I do 5 push-ups on that to go up into my office. So I have earned the right. Now the idea is I'll then move that from 5 to 10 and then go from 10 to 20, just so I can get some strength back into my body because I've got next to none. So we're going to go up there. So let's do 5 push-ups. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Doesn't seem much, does it? But it'll strengthen my chest. It'll put something back into my shoulders, and it'll put strength back into my arms. But at the same time, it's getting me into a routine. And it's a routine that'll just build up sort of, how do I put it, muscle memory, shall we call it. Because if I just go to a gym and then start doing push-ups, I'll hate it. But if I'm used to doing it, it'll get easier. And then it'll just be a case of, right, I'm doing 10 push-ups. Whereas if you said to me, do 10 push-ups 2 weeks ago, I'd have said, piss off. It's that simple. So it's all muscle memory. It's just reaction of doing what it's doing. And that's the general senses. But it's also getting my body moving, gets me out of breath a little bit, drop some calories, and then hopefully it'll drop some weight. So we're going to go up and we're going to weigh myself. Then I'll go up the second flight of stairs and I'll show you what I do when I get there. Okay, so let's do the weighing, see how well we're getting on. Wow, excellent. Well, I think that's a good result. That is down. Outstanding. Well, let's go up. So, boys and girls, so what I do now when I come up these stairs is I do my 5 push-ups, but I also do 5 touches. And what I'm trying to do is work my way down the stairs. Now, my back was so bad, I couldn't touch the second stair. Now I've got it down onto the first stair, almost like touching your toes. So let's do a press ups and I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what I'm trying to do is just put my hands on the bottom stair, try and keep my legs straight, so I'm just using my back muscles, and then it's stretching me out a little bit. 1, 3, 4, 5. And believe it or not, it fucking hurts.
Oh, cry me a river, blubber-toothed tiger. Have some fun.
All right, but little steps.
as a big fat bastard, and I need to get the body moving. And this is what I'm doing every single day, every time I walk up and down the stairs. Let's carry on.
Okay guys, so I've come up into my office. I'm going to fill in the spreadsheet that I'm working because, as I was saying earlier, I planned this out like I was going to run my job. So I run everything on a spreadsheet. So let's figure this out. So we've just seen I was 313.2. So for me, that's a big step up, really is. So my current weight, when I've done it today, is 313.2. So I can put the current weight into there, 313.2. Okay. So I've actually lost 4.8 pounds this week just by doing what I'm doing. Now, I've just done another sort of 10 push-ups. So that's them. And I do the stretches as well. Okay. I haven't been able to get into do any golf this week. I've only just come back from holiday. So it's been a bit of a bugger. But I'm trying. And work's taking over. I'm doing this while I'm working. I started at 8:30 this morning. I'll be finished probably about 2-3 o'clock this afternoon. But this week, I've already done 35 and a half hours worth of work. And I only started back on Wednesday. Or I should say I started this on Wednesday. I was still at work on Monday and Tuesday. So it's pretty colossal. To give you an idea, Monday was travelling, so I only did about 5 or 6 hours on Monday. But Tuesday, there's another 16 hour. So I've easily done more than 50 hours this week of work. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is I want to kind of see when my ending times are. I always start between 6 and 6:30 on a morning anyway, so that's not really an issue. Now, just made myself another coffee. Here we go, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. So I'm on to 3. I would normally have a lot more than that, but Winky's out, so that'll be no. And I'm not having any snacks today, as I was saying. So no snacks, cut it all out. So I've cut my food down quite a bit. You know, cornflakes, just a Rita bread, you know, cracker bread, maybe there's a piece of cheese on it, or with a boiled egg, and then a small dinner on a night time. Now, I've had 2 salads this week, tuna salad and a prawn salad, and then I had a chicken bun the other night. Now, the idea of this is I don't want to get sick of it. So that's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Now, at the moment, I'm happy with that. If I can do £1 a week, I'd be happy with £1 a week. Because think about it this way. All right. If I do £1 every week, that means I will drop 50 pounds in weight over the course of a year, or 52. Now, that doesn't sound a lot, but that puts me back well under 300 pounds. And I'm quite a big guy. You know, I'm 6 foot tall. I'm quite broad. I haven't measured my sort of chest and belly this week because I only did that the other day. And I don't think I'll have lost that much. Now, my chest will fluctuate hopefully between 48 and 52 because I'm big framed, all right? I'm not worried about my chest. But my belly at 55, because I'm measuring round this, well, I'll show you. Kind of, as you can see, I'm carrying a lot of weight on my belly. So there's my belly button. So I'm measuring round this section here.
Fat bastard.
All right, not my waist where I can get my trousers. the actual belly. Okay, this section here. Now that's the bit I want to drop because my theory is if I can get the weight off my belly, that'll reduce the stress on my lower back. Because I'm literally carrying a lot of weight here. Now, I do carry a lot on my chest. You know, I've got a proper pair of titties here. They're nearly as big as Joanne's. Ooh, but she's got a better set than I have.
Big tits. Huge tits.
It definitely has, boys and girls. But I want this toned out and strengthened as well, which is why I'm doing the push-ups. Now, the idea is this will tone out and strengthen, so I'm not worried about my chest. But if I can get rid of the belly fat, it'll all help me on my back. And then if I'm doing stretches, now I do, well, I call them dips, but they're actually squats. What I do with that is, which is part of squats, I'll hold the back of the chair. I'll show you. Hold the back of the chair, like so, for support. And I just dip down. And then lift up. Dip down. And lift up. And I do that regular as well. And the reason being is I've got limited strength in my legs as well. And I think one of the biggest issues I have is the amount of hours that I sit down.
Move! Come on, shift your arms, get it loaded now.
And as you can see, it's here. Because even when I'm just pissing about and maybe taking half an hour's break, that comes with me. It's flashing messages all the time. So even if I'm just sitting talking to Joanne in the living room, I'm still technically working because I'm answering emails, questions, and it just goes on. It starts 6 in the morning. It's not uncommon for me to answer messages at midnight. So that's it. And as you can sort of hear in my breath, even just doing some quick lunges, it impacts me quite a lot. I need to change this. So if you want to come along to the journey, subscribe, motivate me. I'm going to keep it going. And the reason I'm doing it publicly is if I try and do it myself, I've tried before, I'll fall off the wagon. Because I'll decide, right, I'm going to the pub. I'm going to have a McDonald's, all that sort of thing. But what I want is a little bit like my job. I want it in front of you. So if I fuck it up, you can call me a dickhead. It's that simple. But I'm trying to get better. And my job is probably the root cause of this. The doctor already told me it is. Said it overstresses me. I'm in the same position too long and I do way too many hours. So that's the whole journey here. That's why I also take a lot of holidays, because I burn out all the time. And the older I've got, the more I burn out. And I'm burning out because my fitness level is so low. I'm just tired. Onward and upward. So guys, live your best life.